Oh, I wondered where these went. Dang it. It's like I feel like I had a couple more pairs of socks than that, and I did. Ah! That's what happens when you're filming yourself do laundry and you decide to chuck something onto the couch in order to make space for something else.
What? Hello?
Just for a moment. So I'll continue to do my laundry here for a second while I talk to you. Good morning. Doing laundry itself doesn't make me feel like a loser. Everybody has to do laundry. In fact, laundry, you know, can be an easy track to feeling mildly productive on a day where you otherwise feel useless. And that's kind of more what I'm here to talk about today. One of the things about vlogging daily that everyone was rightfully concerned about, or a lot of people were really concerned about, was that I would just end up burning myself out again. Which is possible. It's possible. I can definitely see how that could happen. Yesterday was very overwhelming. Today I still have a lot of work to do that I didn't get done yesterday. And it also left me feeling a little bit down today. And one of the things that I've been struggling with throughout the whole COVID lockdown situation and the protests and the uncertainty about so many people's futures and friends who are struggling and all of it lately has left me feeling a little bit helpless at times and a little bit like a loser. That's the word that's come to mind a few times recently. And I thought I'd talk about that today from my delightful laundry fort. Let me put this away. Oh, here it is. Oh, can you even see me? The duvet cover acts as a little bit of the guiding structure for the wind, and I pump air through it with a fan, very tall fan, and that helps it to dry a little bit faster. It's pretty exciting stuff. Also, thanks to Tracy Kinney for being the patron producer of today's episode, and all my patrons, of course, as well. But Tracy, appreciate it a lot. So much so that I'm shoving my head into a space filled with nothing but underwear and socks, just to say so. I hope you know I appreciate you. So feeling like a loser, eh? Are ya? Is that what you clicked on this title for? Just hoping to see me feel like a loser. Well, today you have the opportunity for both, or at least to see me feel like one. I've been feeling like one on and off for a number of reasons. And one of the things that helps me when I'm feeling that way is to actually name the reasons why I'm feeling a little bit like a loser. Which isn't something that it's not a word I ascribe to myself. I don't actually think of myself that way. But it is a really good way of encapsulating that sense of, I don't know, whether it's an emotion or a feeling of helplessness or uncertainty, feeling lost sometimes in the midst of massive things that are happening around the world, not knowing what's going to happen in the future, not knowing what things are going to look like on the other side, if there is an other side. It can get kind of overwhelming at times, and I definitely feel that way a lot lately. But then I take comfort in a number of things. And one of those is actually just naming the reasons. So like for me, I struggle with it sometimes because like let's take YouTube for example. Sometimes I feel that way because I still haven't crossed 50,000 subscribers. I've been doing this for years. I've made something like 1,300 videos. And I can reason my way through it. I know that there are reasons why, and I'm also very fortunate to have what I do have, both in the subscriber count that I do have. Thank you for being here and for watching. And also that it has been my job for the last couple years. That's nuts. And see, that's immediately like one way of like walking your way right back out of it. Gratitude. Gratitude is one of the words I'm looking for here. I'm clearly struggling to find it, but it's one of the words I'm looking for here. It's nice to be reminded like, oh yeah, like that's not a big deal. Like when I have those moments where I look at my subscriber count, for example, this is just a very in-your-face example, but then I remind myself, like for one, like a few years ago, when I was struggling to get to my 1,000th subscriber, how much I would have died just to have like 1,000 subscribers. Or 20,000 subscribers, you know? So like I'm really, really fortunate. Like things are moving, things are steadily growing. Like I don't need to jump, I don't know if jump the shark is the right word there, but I don't need to jump the gun and like suddenly have more. And when those quantitative things start coming down on me a little bit, I remind myself like, you know, you would have been super psyched to be where you are today back when you didn't have it. And now that you're there, you need to just stop and enjoy it. This is me reminding myself, you know, to stop being a tool. Similarly, I find these moments where I'm like, geez, I'm in my 30s and like I still kind of live like a college student. Like I'm in a tiny little space and I'm single and I barely have anything. Is what it really feels like. Like I have these moments where I'm like, geez, I look at my contemporaries and I'm like, they have, you know, investments or houses or cars or, you know, not that a car is an investment, but, you know, just like their lives look so much more like adult lives than mine do. And it helps to name that too, because again, I just feel like to immediately, like, I immediately then think about how, well, yeah, but do you want that? Like, do you really want a house? Do you really want a car? Having, you know, a retirement account would be great, but those are not the trappings of the life that I chose for myself. And actually, I'm really happy with the life that I have. And when I said like I live in a small space, I love my little chateau. It's phenomenal. I love this place. Like, I'm so lucky to have what I have here. It's great. And city living, you know, I don't need a car. I don't need a lot of space. There's so much on offer for me here in Paris. And these are choices that I made. Like, I chose to pursue this lifestyle, and I'm fortunate to be in a place where it's kind of working out for me. So that also starts to help alleviate that sense of, even just talking to you right now, I don't know if my neighbors are just like taking endless showers or what's going on, but there's a lot of water draining noises. Sorry if you can hear that. But here's some other things that help me when I feel this way, because I definitely have moments. You see me get like, I have manic highs where I'm super productive and I get tons of stuff done. And then I find myself with these lows. And there are a number of ways in which that I address that personally that helps me get through it. And like I said, I'm feeling that way today. I was feeling that way a little bit yesterday. Super overwhelmed yesterday. Better-ish, but like, it's getting better just by talking. And that's actually one of the key things, if I can bring myself to do it. One is vlog. I have the pleasure of being able to vlog about it. And now that we're vlogging daily again, sitting down and doing a video like this, it doesn't feel like a waste of time. It feels like something that's valuable within the context of the daily vlog. But also taking the time to reach out, talk to my family or close friends, always very helpful to remember there are people out there that love me, that don't think that I'm a loser, and that, well, if they do, at least they hide it pretty well, you know. It also helps me a lot to remember that this is part of my regular kind of emotional cycle. Back when I was a consultant and I was flying around the United States, like literally on an airplane every 3.5 to 4 days, or 4.5 days, something like that, somewhere around every 4 days, let's just say. I noticed a cycle in my mood and in my energy that was very much like tied to this weekly cycle as well with my travel, and I knew that I was gonna get excited to travel, and then I was gonna have an energizing time with friends, and then I was gonna have a crash as soon as I got back to wherever it is I was working, and then I was gonna slowly work my way out of it. And I saw this emotional cycle that I went through kind of on a weekly basis, and would remind myself, oh yeah, it's a Tuesday. Like, Tuesdays always suck. I'm gonna get through this. Tomorrow's Wednesday, it's gonna be fine. That's something that really helped me. I don't know if that's similar for everybody out there, but that's definitely something that just noticing those patterns made me remember, oh yeah, like it'll be better tomorrow. Which isn't fixable by coffee, but coffee definitely helps. Something like even this morning, my coffee's over there, and now I wish that it was all the way over here. If only I had like Jedi mind powers. Coffee is one of those things that can kind of help, like for me, maybe it's tea, maybe it's something else, but a little bit of that chemical induction of like, ah yes, things aren't quite as bad as they feel today. It's often pretty helpful. But so is sleep. And one of the things that I've fallen out of, that I got into during confinement that was really helpful, that I've fallen out of now that I have a little bit more of the sense of freedom, is a regular sleep schedule. Making myself go to bed at a regular hour and getting up at a regular hour. Getting up earlier is kind of a key point. It was really, really helpful. Another thing that I've been trying to dabble in, and I need to make some more time for, which is hard when you're out around in town, but is less hard when you're here, like working from home, is taking a nap. Like just occasionally a nap. Naps are good for you. Like lots of studies have shown that. I need to take more naps. Winners take naps. And sometimes, like when I'm feeling super overwhelmed or stressed, especially right now when there's so much to freak out about nationally, globally, locally, like on every front, and when I start to feel like particularly helpless, or I can feel the anxiety just burrowing into my gut and I start to feel really helpless, going for a run can really help process that. Like physically it burns some of that energy out of me, but it also gives me space to think while my body is doing something that often it would rather not be doing. But it's good to go for a run, short or long. Sometimes the longer the better. Listen to a podcast, listen to some music, listen to something, and not even zone out, but even sometimes I will specifically read that email I've been avoiding all day, or that message that I've been avoiding all day. You know, something that's gonna cause that to be worse. Or even sometimes been avoiding listening to a given set of news or a podcast, like Pod Save the People I've been recommending a lot this week. I will listen to that on runs a lot because there's so much in it that's just like gut-wrenching, that like the ability to work that out physically and process it physically while I'm also processing it mentally is a really good combination. So whatever kind of physical exercise, whatever kind of space you can put yourself in where you're exerting your body a little bit, it really helps process a lot. I feel like there's a lot of science that we could get into about that, and I'm not qualified. And after you go for a run, you can splurge on something tasty. That's something else I do. If there's like a meal that I really want to eat that is like overloaded with calories, like Korean fried chicken or something like that, which I've been eating a little bit too much of lately, I make sure to go for a long run right before that, and then like you have that reward at the end as well that kind of serves as like this pick-me-up, so that you're like, okay, I'm gonna go do this hard physical thing that I'm not really feeling, and I'm gonna process some feelings or emotions that I don't really want to, but then like I know I'm gonna feel better, and I'm gonna have burned enough calories that my body's not gonna totally hate me for that delicious, sweet, honey garlic glazed goodness at the end of the run. And then finally, I mean, there's a lot of different things you could do. I'm moving the camera here so that it, you know, the background changes and it feels a little bit more engaging that way. I try to remind myself that I'm only human and there's only so much I can do, because I don't like having limits. This is something I've talked about, I'm sure, a bunch in my daily vlog in the past. I don't deal well with the fact that I'm human and that I have limits. I don't like having limits to my time. I don't like having limits to my energy. I can feel the limits to my own brain a lot of the time, where you're like, I can feel myself brushing up against the fact that I'm not smart enough to figure out a problem or to solve something or to discuss something, or just like, that is the worst feeling, to be like, ah, crap, like this, that's it. Like I can't really push past this right now for whatever reason. Same with money, same with empathy, same with everything. Like I wish I had more of it. I wish that I was better. I wish that I was more perfect. Which is an oxymoron, I realize that. But I wish that I was something more a lot of the time. And I struggle with the fact that I can't possibly be. And that can make me feel kind of like a loser too, because I look at other people and I think, oh man, but they've got it together. Those people are so much X, Y, or Z better than me, like they have it together. And I try to take it a step back and remind myself, look dude, you're only human. Like there's only so much you can do, and that's fine. And accept that. And I talked about this a little bit with like the writing of my book and how vlogging daily really helped with this, but kind of taking a different view of myself and looking at myself a little bit like a character, kind of how like you probably see me in watching my videos, but like in editing my videos every day and in writing and editing this book about how I got to Paris. One of the real benefits to it was being able to step outside myself and see myself as just another person struggling and stumbling through life, trying to get somewhere, trying to attain something, trying to be someone. And it helped me to love myself in a way that wasn't really possible otherwise. It was such a valuable exercise. So whether that takes the form of journaling, maybe writing your own memoir, maybe starting a vlog, maybe starting up photography or something like that helps you to see yourself from another light, can be wildly beneficial. I mean, right now, even just talking to the camera, this is such a huge blessing, because even though I'm just sitting here talking to a camera in my room, I know that you're on the other side of it. I know that there's this collective audience, this person, kind of like a capital P sort of way, who I'm able to have this ongoing conversation with, and that's what I miss the most from daily vlogging, and that's what also is kind of nice to be able to sit down and talk to someone in an amorphous globular sense. I don't know how to put that. It's strange, but it's like really, really beneficial. And I would encourage you to find some way of doing that. Obviously, I'm fortunate to have found an audience, even though that can sometimes be a source of insecurity when you brush up against somebody who's got a much larger audience than you do. Especially ladies. I'm sorry, if there are any ladies out there who have like really large audiences, that's something that's like, it's not intimidating, but like if you're like, you find somebody like, oh wow, she's cute. Oh wow, she has like an audience that's as larger than mine, it's like not, it's like, you're like, why would she ever pay attention to me? That's an immediate, like, why do we think these ways? Why do we look at it and think like, wow, well, she's obviously too cool for me. I guess I'll just go ahead and go back to, I don't know, hitting rocks against each other. I don't know what it is that I do when I'm not filming, honestly. Like, my brain just turns off. But I'm so lucky to have this, and I recognize that. And I know that if you were to start something today, it would take a long time for you to find that audience as well, but there's also a real benefit in only having a few people that are watching, only having a few people that you're talking to, and that's what like my garage monologues used to be. And that's what this kind of is. Standing in a garage, talking to a camera, working things out, and hearing myself process what it is that I'm thinking and how I'm feeling, so that I can recalibrate it and guide myself in the direction that I want to be going, and rethink how I'm thinking and reform how I'm feeling based on where I want to go, and not being driven by them towards where they want to go, if that makes any sense. I don't know if any of this makes sense. That's really close. I don't know if any of this makes sense, but I hope that it made some sense. And that's just how I'm feeling today. But like I said, in naming some of the reasons why I'm feeling like a loser and reasoning through like why that's actually not necessarily the case, not to say that I'm not sometimes a loser, but not as much as I tend to feel like I am. And then taking some of those steps, like getting my dang coffee over here. Why haven't I gotten up and gotten that yet? There are certain things that I can do, active steps that I can take to take care of myself and to feel a little bit better and hopefully do a little bit better the next day. And even if I'm never gonna fully live up to the potential that I imagine that I have, at least I can live up to some of the potential that I do have. That's what I got for you today. I hope you're having a wonderful day wherever it is you are. And I hope that if you're feeling a little bit down, a little bit overwhelmed, helpless, sad, any of those kind of like blech emotions, for one, that's normal and that's fine, and you can feel that, and like I would own that. Definitely just like feel it, and then see what you can do to maybe make a few little course corrections and see if you can make your way out of that today, because that's also possible. And if it's not possible for today, if you're just gonna be there, then I hope that you're doing a little bit better tomorrow, and I hope that every day that comes after it's another step in the right direction. In the meantime, I've got like taxes to pay and spreadsheets to correct for these book orders, because apparently I don't even actually understand why all of it broke. And I've got more updates for you to come, but we'll talk about those in the near future. I'm gonna eat some lunch and I'm gonna get some work done, and I will see you bright and early tomorrow for another one of these delightful videos that probably will be from a better illuminated, less enfortressed laundry location. Yeah, I'll see you tomorrow for that.